I guess it should be stock up, honestly. So our opponent is going absolutely all in on the mill plan, which is pretty decent. But they're risking milling, you know, our win con. So our opponent is taking some huge risks right now. But so far they are paying out. They did not mill Omniscience. So I think we crack it later and we play this at the end step. Generally, so if our opponent knew our hand, they would counter it. But normally you don't counter the spell. It's pretty low value. It goes 1 for 1, so generally as a control deck you shouldn't counter it. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's play a spell, shall we? I actually should wait until this hits, to be honest. This goes to the hand. Graveyard, I guess we go this and this in the library. Oh man, this will be way harder to play. I am considering if we can still win through it. There is a chance, but a small one, honestly. Alright. Let's go. Let's go. We go for blue, I think. No, we want double white for animation. Let's actually go for white. Just to make sure that we can cast it. We still have Fabled Passage, so this would be an island. Alright. Usually you go with Arcavios then. We could go Marang at the end step, or we can just go stock up. Let's go stock up. We know that they cannot counter it, and it doesn't really fill the graveyard too much, so I'm pretty happy with it. Bro, they're not scared of milling Omniscience, and so far they actually are going for it. We will have enough cards to discard, so that's a good thing. And I will take a land, I think. Let's go. We have enough cards, right? We have 9, which means we can play a land. It will be tapped. We are not making any plays. I don't want to fill the graveyard, so I'm not surveilling, and this goes into the graveyard, where it belongs. Like Omniscience, not in the graveyard, you crazy bro. Oh man, Hainon will be a pain. I wonder if they also have Get Lost. They probably do, so when we wait 1 turn, so we can start answering this, they will go Get Lost and get rid of Omniscience, and we need to do it all over again, so it won't be easy. They also can make 1 play a turn, but they actually don't mind it. Like, this is a control deck, so obviously they just play 2 spells, 1 on their turn and 1 on ours, if they care. Silex. Can this be activated? No, activate only as a sorcery. It's been a while since I used this card. I mean, guys, we know what we have to do. You always reanimate your Omniscience. However, this will be the last spell we can cast. It's still a little bit better, I think. We could go Invasion of Arcavios. So I can take Invasion of Arcavios and get something that answers it. I don't fully remember the sideboard on this. I remember my sideboard. I had a specific answer to this. I think it was 1 mana sorcery. But we will see what we have. Because we need to first answer this, so I want to play this. I'm banking on this guy not having Get Lost, so he cannot remove Omniscience. Then we play Arcavios on our turn, that's the spell for the turn, and then we cast something that kills Hainon at their end step. That's the game plan. That is the game plan. We need to be really careful. They can already mill 16 cards from us. So I'm even considering this Marang. Maybe it's not a good play, because it fills the graveyard and mills us. Yeah, I will wait with this. Interesting one. Alright, let's play land. We might still need those. We might need lands in our lives. Man, interesting play is that we could try to go for Marang and bounce Hainon, but if they have a counter spell, it won't work. I mean, if they have counter spell, nothing works, right? Because they can also counter Invasion. We have 6 mana, so it needs to be a hard counter spell. This is no more Lice mana. So I think they cannot counter the spell. That means we bounce it, and we play the game. Okay, so cast with alternate cost. This is the one. We have enough mana, so let's make sure that we pick the right one. And I hope they cannot counter it, which means that Hainon is not in the board. We take this back, and I think we win. You can see that you can actually win through all of this, like through card that is supposed to counter you. Like right now with Mono Red gone, it hits mostly Omniscience, I would say. So yeah, moment this is out, bro. And now we are playing a real Omniscience deck. We go this just to make sure they cannot remove anything. in case they have magical, get lost for 1 mana. And now we can stock up. I will actually go for this. We don't have too many cards, only 27. So I will try to hit the counter spell first, just to make sure that we can get the stuff that we need. Moment of truth. So they don't know we have Arcavios, but I want a counter spell first in case they have something weird. Alright, this should be good enough. We take this is Graveyard, and this is Library. Now we can drop the Arcavios, and you can see, you can literally win with this deck through High Noon, which is supposed to counter it. You have ways. I thought we will have to go for the sideboard for it, but we actually did not. I guess Into the Flood Maw would be the answer, so that was also an option. Let's go for Jeskai Revelation. This is how we kill. And let's start the chain. This is the permanent, this is 4 damage. Bro, that's how you win through a control deck with a High Noon. The point is that this Riddle is... Oh, this is like Gruul with white. So this is like the Lyrium deck. I'm not sure what the white is for exactly, so we will still see. This is not enough pressure, they need something more. And we will keep the counter spell and potential. So the point of this card is that it fills the graveyard very well. So if you hit Omniscience, you instantly have it in the graveyard. This is absolutely a counter spell target. That's why they are not making progress. I don't think they get Delirium from this, right? They already had a creature. They have only enchantments and creatures. Alright, very good. This is the best draw we could get. Alright, we still don't have Omniscience. I would love to use Spell Pierce, but then we could go for the Riddle. Okay, this is actually perfect. This is perfect. We go for Spell Pierce. The reason is that I actually want to use this, and this doesn't matter. This gives them cards in hand. We don't care about those, because we win the game, like when we hit the combo. All we care about is tempo and how much they have in the board. With this, we know this is their last play. That means we unleash the Riddle, which hopefully will get us a land into hand and Omniscience in the graveyard, which means we win on the next turn. So this is a bit of a, potential win on the next turn, but even if we whiff here, I think it's still a, good situation. But if we don't whiff, we win the game. I nearly clicked decline, by the way. We should go for white mana, I think. Shouldn't matter, but... Oh, it matters. We actually had only 1 white mana, and we need double white for repair. It's also a difference compared to Awakening. And we want to hit Omniscience. Oh, we did not hit. So we cannot get Omniscience in the graveyard on the next turn. We already have 1 Marang. I think we just go for the land here. And it should be Fabled Passage, so we have less lands in the library. So we whiffed fully, but it still was a decent play. They get 4 damage in total. We actually super hard whiffed, because this was like 3 lands, basically. And we will draw another one, unfortunately. I think it has to be Marang then. Especially that they know about counter spells. So hopefully they won't play 1 big creature that tries to kill us on this turn. If they just go for 4 damage, I'm taking it. That means we get another chance at winning the game. And stock up with Omniscience is enough to chain infinite value. So you just need this, you can waste Marang in a way. Let's see, another swing. Like 2 damage from this type of deck is like the lowest you can ever hope for. Alright, let's see what the... Nothing. Very interesting. First we crack it. I want to make sure that I have as little lands in the library as possible, so because this hit needs to hit. I think we are running out of time. So this has to hit Omniscience. Let's go. We could also go for the Dispersal, but we can play it later. See? That's how we win the game. Alright. We cannot mess it up, but I don't think they have interaction for it. Now we go repair and recharge. We get this. As you can see, it feels way clunkier, but you can still do the thing, And now we go, bat crazy. Let's see, our opponent... Oh my god, So that's why white is in the deck. Okay, our opponent is going a little bit crazy himself. Alright, we need to get all the instants. This goes to the graveyard, this goes to library. We need to hit a counter spell from this. Confounding Riddle counters it. But we need to actually hit it. I don't think we will. Alright. We can go Omniscience, but we cannot reanimate it. This goes to the graveyard, so we have 1 in the graveyard. I think it's Dispersal. This gives us more time. And what do we want? I think we want it in the library? Nah, I think land is a little bit better even. Let's go. I can respect that. Our opponent literally prepared for this. We could bounce a creature if we want. And surveil. That's not bad. We can also do it later. When they attack, it should be the same. Alright. Alright. And now we stock up. So this needs to be something that hits this. This was the winning card, by the way. If we hit this, we would counter it, and that's game. But it's fine. It's fine. So what do we take? I need to actually pay attention to this one. So we will Dispersal their creature. They have hasters, but we need to take the risk. We need to refill. We already have this in the graveyard, so it's not Omniscience. It's definitely Confounding Riddle, so we can protect our stuff. And potentially Marang. Invasion from the sideboard. Is there anything? Into the Flood Maw is too weak. I think it's Marang. Alright, I think this is the choice. We needed to play it like this. I don't think there was any way to avoid this get lost. So it's just good for our opponent here. But they came prepared, you know, and we can Dispersal it. Let's see if they have some protection spells. Even if they do, it's only 4 damage, so I'm fine with it. Right, we have a land for the next turn. This is honestly pretty decent. How much mana do we have? We have 3, 6, 7 mana, so we can go Dragonstorm into Repair. So I think we'll try to maximize the chance of hitting Repair and casting it on the next turn, so we can reanimate Omniscience and go again. And now we have a counter spell, which makes it way harder. So I think if we can hit another Repair and Recharge, I think we have 3 in the deck, right? That's a fair way to win the game. Yuna. Oh, so that's another addition. Nice, nice. And it's so fun to see new builds and, you know, everyone trying. I'm sorry we are playing Omniscience, but guys, I need to show you the top deck so you know what's up, you know? I feel responsible for this. So I know you don't like Omniscience, but, you know, it's still here. So let's go for what? It has to be the Dragonstorm, because that gives us the chance to cast more. And theoretically we can survive this. This is 4 damage and this is 4 damage, so we will be at 2 and they play both. We actually missed here. We will go with Marang. We have this, but I don't think we can use it really. Wait, we can use this. Oh, it's still around. It doesn't matter. I think it's Pylon. I want to make sure that we have all the value for the next turn. We can counter something that tries to kill us. But then we are still not making progress. Maybe we can top deck Repair and Recharge without casting a draw spell. They are trying to burn us. Very good for them. I think they will go for Overlord kill. I need to allow it. Because this means the board state still doesn't kill us. They need to make another play like this. Helix is probably game over for us. Overlord is something I think we can deal with. And potentially hit Repair on the top and then win the game. Hopefully. But I'll be honest, we are probably losing this one. But there's still a chance. If we get lucky, we can still win. What's the play? They know that this ends the game. They're not going for it, trying to bait stuff. They can play a land, I'm not sure if they played a land on this turn. I think they didn't. So they can play a land and Overlord. If we counter this, they know that the second set. I think, man, this guy knows what he's doing. Trying to bait our counter spells before. They know that we are dead if they play Overlord and we don't have a counter spell. However, they are tapping out, so they know that if we can counter it and reanimate Omniscience, they are losing on the next turn. And that's the grit versus can I get a free win? The answer is if they play Overlord, it's better for them. Because then we need to tap out, which means we cannot hit any card advantage. Okay, they actually chickened out. They might still have Get Losts. But we have a counter spell. So we are fine with it. We need to get the maximum card. We need to hit Repair and Recharge on this turn. We did not hit Repair and Recharge. We get rid of this guy. I need the counter spell. Oh my god, we are doing so bad. We have triple reanimation spell in the remaining 26 cards. That's like the worst case scenario. We can still start digging. So stock up is probably good enough. Nope. Yep. I nearly played the wrong thing. This means we get Omniscience. We can counter one Get Lost. I think there is chance we can still win this. Are you? No way, man. Triple reanimation spell is at the bottom 20 cards. Well, with this, there's no chance, I think. No way, man. We will actually lose this. To be honest, this is incredibly bad draw on our part. Like, you should at least hit one more. Alright, so what can we do? We play land. And yes, I know, guys, you are cheering against Omniscience. I'm fine with it, alright? It's okay. It's okay. I know this. I know the stuff. So, yeah, I think we are dead. We just needed to hit this card. Then we reanimate Omniscience. And then we counter spell their Get Lost and we win the game. But we are not good enough to draw a card. That's it. They are winning. The best play I can make right now. They will attack. They have also the Overlord, so they will deal damage. There's nothing I can do here, I think. Yeah, I have few scenarios, but each one of them will be two little mana, so I can hit Dispersal with this. I need to fish for it. The problem is that then I still need to counter the Overlord, and that will be 1 mana too little, even if I hit it. But man, see, we will be 1 mana short. Hand, Graveyard, Library. Because I will die to this Overlord. They still took a huge risk. And it wouldn't pay out if we had a decent draw, but we actually had extremely bad draw. Bro, how is it possible? This, oh man, this doesn't work. We need to go like this. Bro, literally all of the reanimation spells are at the bottom 20 cards. No way, man. They are checking the mana. They are considering if we can counter it. I'm literally highlighting it on purpose, so they know that we are preparing for it. Yep. If we had 1 mana point more, we would counter it, and we got another chance to draw any of the 3 ones. So we literally was 1 mana short, but we'll see. Maybe they are just scared of this card and they want to deal with it instantly. I think this is honestly the best choice, and this was the best draw. We have 4 lands, so this could be untapped. And do we go? Okay, we have play for the next turn, so I will go with Fabled Passage just to make sure we can activate all the mana. We need basics for those, you know? And let's see what the next play is. Misery's Shadow. Man, I love seeing cards like this. I remember times where Shades were like the terror of mono black. I've been playing against those kind of cards in paper, and they were like, what was Nantuko's Shade? I think that was the name. Everyone was like, wow, this card is devastating. And yeah, love to see it. And this one is actually, I think, better than Nantuko Shade was. I think it was 2-1 and it pumped with black mana only. This is fine. Some boomer magic time. I really enjoyed this, you know, learning of magic. So if there are some new players, bro, you have the best time in front of you. So let's take some damage for this turn, that's fine. And we are going with Moment of Truth. Alright, so we know what goes to the graveyard, that's for sure. We have Reanimation double spell, so I think we go for the Dispersal in hand. A little bit risky, this goes to graveyard, this goes to library. You want your dragons in your libraries. Alright. Extremely good draw, I have to say. We top deck like a true champion of Magic right now. We actually need the 5th land. Bro, I'm so used to playing 4 mana reanimation that I nearly surveilled it out. So basically, we have answer to whatever, you know, enters the battlefield with counter spell. We also have answer to the board. It's not very scary, but they can pump it to 6/6 in total. And if they tap out fully, we have a very nice Dispersal. It also means they cannot replay the Shadow. Okay, they are going all in. I was wondering if they keep 2 mana to replay the Shadow, expecting a bounce, but they didn't. This cannot attack, and you can see the power of this card, man. It's just really strong. So we probably want something that changes value. because we will activate the combo in 2 turns, and we only have stock up to keep, you know, digging for more. They've seen this card, let's play it. We have still a counter spell. And we just need to survive this 1 turn with no duress and stuff like this. They don't know about this. We can force them to pay 4 so they can duress on 1 mana. This is not relevant, it's already too slow. Like, they needed this in the board, so having this with Summoning Sickness is a game decider. Alright, let's go. Let's go. This is a very good draw. Repair and recharge. And everyone's favorite, seeing Omniscience entering the battlefield. And even though it's 1 turn slower, this one is creating an enchantment, so you don't need to protect the token. And now we can start chaining, of course, the absolute crazy value. This is the moment when they should scoop, because we will just keep chaining the value. So if you never played this deck, you basically keep drawing cards until you hit the battle. Where are this is the mode, right? This. Oh no! Okay, I need to actually focus. Alright, let's go for this one. This is the mode you want. You have 4 different ones, 2 free, 2 paid ones. We can discard Omniscience, we don't need more, they cannot remove enchantment. So now you just keep replaying all the card advantage, so you hit Arcavios, and you still you don't have the, you know, this town ain't big enough, so you cannot keep bouncing them forever. But now you go for, I believe, let's go for this one. You go for, you know, the 7 mana Jeskai card, Revelation, because it bounces Arcavios, so you can literally go infinite with it, like with 1 card. So we will just continue. Our opponent should really scoop, because sometimes you play hoping your opponent doesn't have the missing piece, but we actually have all the missing pieces, and we take counterspell in case they have interaction. Now you go for Invasion of Arcavios, obviously, and you take Revelation from your sideboard, and continue chaining damage. Search your sideboard. This is it. Just make sure you don't miss, because then this will be in your graveyard after 1 turn. So we return this, we deal 4 damage here, and we keep replaying it 5 times, so they get hit for, you know, 20 damage on this turn. You need to be careful so you don't miss, you don't mill yourself. Alright, let's finish the game. And you also get tons of tokens, tons of life gain, tons of draw. You get everything on top of this. But you need to actually draw few cards from your library. And now you need to search for your graveyard, because now it's not in the sideboard, it's in the graveyard. Sometimes when you start playing with this deck, it might get you. So our opponent should see the writing on the wall. As you can see, they know that this is infinite chain, right? So it's mono-white life gain. You can already tell by the first card. Let's go for Archive. This is always tapped, and it gives you Surveil. I mean, we probably want this in our hand, you know, that's kind of the whole point of the deck. So we need to find a way to get rid of this, and we need to find something to survive, because we are on the draw, so that means we will be pressured like crazy. Okay, this is a very good Surveil, man. Conduit Pylons is such a good land for this deck. Like, you basically sometimes... Normally we would have to hit Marang or the Dragonstorm to get Omniscience in the graveyard, or a Moment of Truth, so this just saves us so much. And we are on timer right now. I think we go stock up, because they will hit us like crazy on the next turn. I think we are dead. I think we are actually dead. Because we need 1 more turn, we need to be on the play for this win. By the way, triple repair and recharge. I will get counterspell because it's some kind of interaction. Honestly, I should probably not take the land, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, we already have 5, so 1 card just goes off. Maybe I should get rid of this, but all of this doesn't really matter. What matters is that we need to hit Dispersal so we can survive. Maybe they cannot hit the life gain. Man, if they cannot trigger the life gain, we will get the additional turn. Let's go for this, let's crack. We need 1 more... Man, you can see how big difference it makes when you need to survive this 1 extra turn. However, the aggro decks are weaker, so very often you get this 1 extra turn. So let's see. And this should be what? Counterspell probably. Yeah, because this board state does not kill us. They need something that life gains, and we can counter it, so this stays at, what, 5-7 power, which means we don't die. So I think, man, we actually will win this, I think. They needed, instead of this, they needed something that triggers life gain multiple times. This doesn't really matter. But at life gains, I will still counter it. Why not? Why not? I should be able to chain infinite value with this. So let's just make sure that there's no life gain in the board. They deal 7 damage. We survive this one turn that we owe to the bounce. However, after this one turn, we are doing the stuff. Let's go Marang. We draw some cards. And now we should start chaining value infinitely, and they know about it. Oh, you love to see this one, don't you? Let's go with the Archive, and I actually played a lot with this deck, so we already have Omniscience in the graveyard. And let's see what our opponent... It's probably Gruul. Oh, no, it's Reanimator. So I think this is like Sun's Avatar Dinosaur Reanimator. Atraxa. Alright, I got bamboozled for a moment with this art. Let's go with this one. We don't have a play for this turn, which is a little bit rough. I think we just chill. We have one Marang. Hopefully it's enough, especially that we can stock up. So our opponent will try to go a little bit crazy, but if that's a normal Reanimator that doesn't have haste, like with Sun's Avatar, we are fine. But this feels weird. This feels like those two Reanimator decks. Maybe Atraxa was just added on top of the dinosaurs. It feels like this, basically. Alright, we have already a reanimation target. By the way, on the pre-ban, you would be winning on the next turn already, but here we actually need to fight for it a bit. Stock up, we can Aether tap, we kinda have everything we need. So I think we keep Dispersal in case they want to haste reanimate something, hit our face and get the full board of dinosaurs. I'm not sure if they're going for it. They don't have this dinosaur in the graveyard. And they probably don't have way to fill the graveyard and at the same time reanimate on the same turn. So stock up could be a viable play, but I'm just not risking it. I think we should be safe if we don't tap. And we have Marang. Okay, that's perfect. So we could make... Yeah, let's just go for it. No, I will be risky. So basically here, there is a chance in 4 top cards we won't hit untap land. In which case we get 1 turn behind on reanimation. But if I play this, I actually don't have Marang, and I cannot go for full interaction. So I'm pretty fine with this one. Let's see. We already have Omniscience in the graveyard. I just want to have Dispersals. They also surveil, so if our opponent is aggressive with haste, we actually get even better draw. Rakdos joins up. We cannot really counter it, but that's fine, because we are winning the game on the next turn, probably. And they actually weren't quick enough. And let's see if... Okay, Etali is like not super scary. I wonder what they will hit from our deck. That's kinda the big deal. Alright. Bro, Omniscience? Well, they are playing the Omniscience combo deck right now. Okay. I'm happy I didn't bounce this in response, because they would get another hit. Alright, we are playing against our opponent already having Omniscience. So now they can play the whole hand from the top. Or from the head, basically. So let's see. This will go crazy very quickly. Bro, what a hit. We already have 1 Omniscience here. 2nd here, so this was 1 of remaining 2 in the whole deck, so that was incredibly good hit. Into Atrax, alright? Bro, we are playing double Omniscience game right now. So they probably want to try to kill us. This could be interesting, you know? Because I think they will try to fish for hasters. Oh no, they will just... Bro, they will literally kill us with Omniscience. Because they can start chaining all the legendaries and start killing them one after another with legendary rules. So they don't need attacks, they don't need haste. We can prevent some of it, but if we bounce it, they just replay it, because the mana is not an issue anymore. And they are playing our Omniscience deck, by the way. You can see that the power of those dinosaurs is kinda huge, because they can even steal your strategy completely randomly. At this point, I think we are absolutely cooked. Like, they will deal this 2 damage. Alright, so, you know what, I will give you the lethal so we can see it. Because they probably should kill us in, like, next 1 or 2 plays. This can only target creature, so we cannot bounce Omniscience, which would be the best play, honestly. Oh, and see, guys, just so you understand, if that was Abuelo's Awakening, we would win this game. But we were one turn later, and you can see this one turn can be very, very huge. So that's the difference between playing a pre-ban version and this version. However, it's still very, very strong. But just to point out, we would actually have completely opposite result if we had the pre-ban card. So that's where the difference comes from. Alright, I'll give him a good game. I can appreciate it. Our opponent played our Omniscience combo in a very good way. They also have counter spells right now. Alright, so they need to play Legendary. You know what? I will actually tap out. Man, they are going hard. They are going really hard on this. I thought they would just play Legendary, but you know what? Okay, this is 7 damage. Alright, we got the damage. So that was a big difference compared to the pre-ban version. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed, but the best part is ahead of you, because we will be today talking about all the meta stats. We will show you all the best decks on day 2, as I'm recording it, because this will be fresh data for you. I made sure of it, alright? It's destroying my sleep schedule, but you are getting the good stuff and good information on this channel. So we will go through all the meta stats, so be sure to check it out. And before we go there, I want to really thank you guys for, all the, feedback and all the, opinions on the question from yesterday. I read a lot of them. I will be reading the rest of them after I finish this video, because I want to get it done as fresh as possible. But it really warms my heart that you guys care, that you wanted to help. Thank you for everyone that made those comments, and yeah, it's just super wholesome. It made me so happy. So thank you guys for this. And yeah, about the deck, Omniscience is, as you will see, still in the top tier of decks. However, don't get discouraged, because Repair and Recharge will rotate out. Like, this is the main reanimation spell. Will it get replaced by something else? Like, there's usually a way to cheat Omniscience, and as Wizards said in the bans announcement, they want a combo deck in the format, just not super powered like Abuelo's Awakening Omniscience was. And after playing with this deck, it's still very, very, very strong. And I've been playing a lot with the pre-ban Omniscience, so I can, compare them very nicely. And it feels way more clunky. However, like, this one turn very often is the difference between winning the game and losing the game. However, the deck is still very strong. It lost Abuelo's Awakening. As you can see, the rest of the deck is kind of the same, but Omniscience seems to be holding very strongly, but it's leaving on the borrowed time, because with rotation it will lose another piece. So we will see. Let's go for now for meta stats, because you want to see what's up exactly in the hard data of Standard. Just be mindful, it's still not too much data, so it still might shift. It's shifting like every hour when I'm checking it. So let's go. Alright guys, we are going hard on the meta stats, because I want to make sure that if you are watching this channel, you have all the best information about real meta, real best decks and stuff like this, so you can make good decisions. This, as I'm recording, is day 2, so this is data from like, I know, 5-7 hours before you are watching this video, most likely, when it's published. So this is fresh data for today. And we are seeing already Omniscience at number 1, followed by Azorius Artifacts, and of course Immortal Rabbits that are always in top 8 since yeah, they always find a way to top 8. So we also have Reanimator on Dinosaurs. That's not a big surprise. This deck was very strong when we tested it on the channel, and Guru Delirium seems to be like one of the best performing red aggro decks right now, and the mono white live gain that is basically anti-red aggro deck because of all the live gain. And we even have some Azorius Control. I think Control is doing better. It was at 52% win rate, or 51 before the bans, I believe. I might be wrong here, but this is what I remember. 51.5 was like the average. So it seems to be doing better because the meta is slower, and also counter spells are very good against Omniscience deck, especially that now, as you have seen in the video, Omniscience needs to pay 5 mana at sorcerer speed for animation deck, for animation spell. So if they want to protect it with Spell Pierce, it's turn 6 play instead of turn 5 play. It's a big difference. It gives more time to a control deck. So let's go, and this is all for today. So the sample size is still very small, guys. It's changing by like the hour. I was checking it yesterday in the evening and it was completely different. Yesterday on the midday it was even way more different. So I want you to have all the fresh stats. So let's go to tier list, because that's the interesting part. And this is from 30th. So this is actually only only post-ban data for Platinum to Mythic. As you can see, the sample size is really small. All of the data is like less than 50,000 games, and some versions of like Omniscience are actually below 1,000 games. So this is very small, it still can change, and a lot of versions have like way too good or too bad win rates on average, because it's like 1 or 200 games. So, you know, just to give you a perspective, I actually delved into all of this data for like more than half an hour before recording this, so I understand what's exactly in this data. It's not as easy as just comparing, you know, top picks, because when you check the top version, it's, for example, lower, and it's only 200 matches. So this is like the average, as far as I understand it. It's like average for all the versions of anything that resembles Azorius Artifact. And this is the one version that has enough games to be showcased. Basically, that's how it works. So it's more tricky than you think. So basically, Azorius Artifacts, Omniscience, and Rabbits right now seems to be at the highest win rate on day 2 as I'm recording it, but it's total of 3,000 matches, so it's, you know, not like the full picture yet. And even though we see like B, C, D tier, and all red, horrible stuff, right? It's actually all of the decks that have very good win rate. Like 52% is very nice, because that's from Platinum to Mythic, which means if you get positive win rate, you can get to Mythic with basically all of those decks, which is very nice. And the Dinosaur seems to be very strong. This is like the animator we already played on the channel. Azorius Control, I think this is getting better after the bounce. And Mono Black is kinda in the same spot, but I think the top version... No. I've seen yesterday some top versions hovering around 60% win rate, but the sample size is so small that it's hard to even consider it, like, you know, for a real analysis. Dimir Dragons, I have no idea. Yeah, as you can see, the top version is just not performing. I think it's very broad term for all the Dimir decks that have Marang, so it's from Control to Dragons to whatever junk happened. But Grul Delirium seems to be one of the best red decks right now. They are consistently, even pre-bans, they were doing very well. They lost Monstrous Rage, but they still have this card, Violent Urge. This can give double strike, so they are still retaining a little bit of power of this, you know, Monstrous Rage hit, but of course it's on a different level. But this seems to be like best performing red aggro deck right now, which makes me happy, because it's in line with the rest of the decks finally. And even here, we actually, like, this Reanimator from yesterday dropped pretty substantially, but it's still above 50% win rate. And it's actually in line with Izzet Prowess that was absolutely devastating to the whole format, which is so funny. And even Abzan Yuna is getting some, you know, nice results. However, I remember the top version is very low win rate, so there are some shenanigans here. It's 1,000 games, so it's still a lot of weird versions that are very different. So as you can see, it's not as easy to analyze all of this data, but just want to show you where we are on day 2 of new standard that is basically a Wild West right now, and everyone is trying to find the best decks. Jeskai Control is something that will probably stay here. This is a very solid deck. I've seen it yesterday in top 8 win rates. Right now it kind of dropped, it seems, so very volatile. Yeah, and even like Oculus decks. By the way, just so you understand the data, when we had Orzhov bounce with those Hopeless Nightmares, Kirins, you know, the deck that we all didn't enjoy seeing on the other side, and had one of the cards banned, it actually, I believe, on average was at 51.5% win rate, so it was around here. That was one of those decks that got even bans. So, you know, this is the current situation in Standard. It will probably change a little bit on day 2, and don't forget, I might be talking about it in the rest of the outro, I'm not sure yet, but Omniscience is also losing some cards with rotation. The Repair and Recharge actually rotates out, so this deck is living on like borrowed time right now, so you know, it shouldn't be a huge problem. There will be probably a new way to cheat Omniscience after rotation. We'll see what it will be. We'll see all the new cards, and you know, we will see. But so far, this is the current meta. So if you appreciate this type of talk, so you know what to craft, what to not craft, how it looks, it might still change. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I really do appreciate everyone that did this. It helps the channel a ton. And yeah, I hope, tell me in the comments if you enjoyed this type of analysis, because it's not hard to do. I think there's a ton of value in those kind of videos, and you know, it's hard to predict because every day it changes. But so far, it seems that decks that were performing before are a little bit better. I mean, surprise, surprise, because Monolith is finally not around. And artifacts are also performing very nice, but it's very it's kinda easy to counter this deck. You just play a control with Ultima, so probably that's the reason why Azor's control is, you know, getting a little bit better, because it can actually answer both Omniscience and Artifacts, and with Lockdown that we still have in Standard, you can just lock down all the rabbits, so it has a nice matchup against all those top decks right now, but, you know, it will be changing, we'll see. Maybe tell me in the comments, we might do the same analysis for day 3, for tomorrow, I'm not sure yet, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. Alright guys, so I just want to wrap it up. Thank you for being absolute bro to the channel, thank you for helping making this content, and also for watching the video until the end. I'm so excited for the new standard, even with Omniscience, and I know this deck is not enjoyed too much, you know, the video will probably not perform very well, but I want you to always have the good data, especially now when everyone is trying to find the best decks. I think it's super important that you guys get all the good stuff. So thank you for watching. If you appreciate it, make sure to subscribe, and thank you to all the patrons that allow us to, you know, rediscover Standard day by day. So thank you guys, you are awesome, and I couldn't thank you enough as always. And yeah, that's it for today, and see you guys tomorrow.